I'm going to show you how to fix the suspension on your ZD Racing RX12, or also known as the Rlaarlo xts-p12. When I got this car, the suspension, if you look at the arms right here, this suspension, I'm lifting up the back so it's only on the front wheels. The suspension, you can see the suspension is not moving at all. It's not pushing those shocks up, the arms aren't moving, and that's all the weight of this car on one wheel. The problem with that is when you hit any holes while you're driving, the wheel can't come down. It can't go down to fill that hole in. So the car is not properly suspended. It's just pushed up. The reason why it's pushed up is because of a couple reasons. Number one, the shock springs are too long. So that means even when your adjustment rings are back all the way up, it's still pressing so hard that the car can't actually suspend itself. Okay? The second reason is because of binding in the A-arms. And I'm going to show you how to fix all of that today and give yourself a live suspension. Now, this front suspension is already fixed. I did the whole process, which I'm going to show you, and I want to show you the difference, what I'm talking about, okay? This is what I'm talking about. Now, when I turn it, you're going to see those arms absorbing, okay? So when the car sits there, it's suspended, and it can go both, it can shoot the wheels both down and up, okay? Instead of just being standing at the top of your springs and kind of bouncing off of everything, this is going to give you a lot more traction, being able to get those arms to actually work with the weight of the car. So I'm going to show you how to do it on the back because I already did it on the front. So today we're going to be shortening a spring. I wanted to take this spring up I wanted to take up this one to this one and make this squat all the way down here. So I'm going to shrink this down to here. And how we do that is we start by putting this wire in where we want it. All right there. Compress the spring down and start to bend this over, okay? And let's just see if we can get it bent over a little bit more. Okay, so we got that spring. We need one on this side to pull it up, and then we're going to need to put this one in on the other side, one rung up from the other one. So just manipulate it to get it into place right there. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now we got the two sides that we want. Just bend this straight. Okay, so there we go. Alright, the first thing we need to do is to tighten this here. We'll compress the spring a little bit and pull this over. Okay, and then I grab this right here nice and tight to make a small circle. And as you can see, that guy's compressed, but it's in the wrong place. So I gotta loosen it a little bit. See this end piece right there is what we want to get through that hole. Okay, so let's see. There we go, we got it. The end piece is through the hole there. Okay, so now I can tighten it up. Okay. So that side is compressed how we want it. And you can see it's all crooked. So now we have to compress the other side to match it up. Okay, and I can just look at the spring and just add tension here to wherever I think is. I think it needs a little bit more. Okay, so that's pretty close right there. And you want to make sure it's even on the top, like side to side. Did a little adjustment there, like that. The next thing you're going to want to do is heat the coil. I have a lighter here. Just heat the part up at the top. Get it to glow and go all the way around. That's a plastic coating on the now you can see it's a little bit crooked. So what I'm going to do is heat this right there, and I'm going to uncrooked it and hold it there until it is cool. And there you go, your spring's shortened. So now the only thing we got to do is wait a second for it to cool and remove the spring. Okay, I quenched this spring in some water. Now all we got to do is undo everything here. There's that one. Right, this will all come out. Get one side out first. There we go. And so the spring has effectively been shortened and will now be the right length for the shocks that I'm using. Okay, and we'll compare it with the first spring. So there we go, we've shortened it down quite a bit, and that's going to be perfect for what I need for my particular purpose. But that's how you're going to shorten springs. This video is going to be part of a video where I'm going through the suspension of an RX12 and making it to where it doesn't bind and seems to suspend correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to do this other spring right here. First thing we need to do is go through right here. And next, we're going to need to go through right there. Okay, they're both through there. Tension this one down. That looks how I want it to look. Okay, now the other side. And let's check the ends. This one needs to go over a little bit. So everything looks okay here. So I'm just going to heat it up. Just need it to glow. Ooh, that's hot. Careful, guys. Just need it to glow. I'm going to get this one glowing a little bit so that way I can press it down. Quenched it. So now it's cool. Now I can start taking it off. Okay, so now this one's really crooked on the end. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Nice and hot here on the end. Quench it. Okay, and there we have it. 2 springs. If it gets crooked, you just, try to straighten it out and then compare the lengths and then, make the adjustment. Okay, so now we're going to be installing these on the shocks. You want to put the end that you bent down towards the bottom. It's going to fit there better. Okay, so there you go, and adjust it on the bottom, make sure that it fits real good, and that's the deal. That's exactly what I was looking for. Alright, let's go ahead and put the other one on. Right, this RX12, it has a little bit of binding issues in the back. You can see it kind of, the left kind of like starts and stops. It does the same on the right. These guys are, so I've got that pushed all the way up and it's stuck on its own. And then I can just sit here and finally gives away. You can see that there's a bind in there, and so what we're going to do is work on getting that bind out. What I'm going to do to get it out is I'm going to basically take this up and down a bunch of times like this, but I'm going to be pushing forward while doing it, and I'll do that about 100 times, and then I will pull backwards on it and do that about 100 times and then see how it's loose. See if it loosens up. It'll work itself in. I'm going to do that to the other side. So basically like this,
pulling back. And you want to push forward too until it's worked in and it seems to be looser. So I can see that the right side is really loose. There's still a little bit of binding in this left side. So I'm going to work on that.
Okay, so now basically we're going to look at the suspension and make sure it's moving and it's not dead when it goes over objects. It's kind of hard to see, so I'll try to keep the camera still. There we go. See that movement? That's what we want right there. Because with the stock suspension, if you did this, it would actually only be touching on 2 wheels. Okay, so now we've got an active suspension. Alright. And we can look at the front too. Okay, we're going to look at the front here. Yep, you see that thing went up. It changed its angle. So it's active. So you can free up your suspension by doing this kind of stuff. I hope this video helped out in some way. Maybe help your car run a little better. Give you a little bit more knowledge. But hey, thanks for watching the video.